Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Akir and in today's video we are going to learn about if statements. An if statement is very useful in Java to check if a certain condition is reached, and it is one of the core stones of the language. And will probably follow us in any program that we write from now on. If statements can be used for base cases, as we saw in the previous video, to protect our program from crashing, help us to check what key was pressed by the user, or for any other purpose, like for example what happens when the ball touches the floor or touches the right side of the wall, and so on. We will follow if statements a lot in this course, so you will get the idea. Okay, so let's begin. Let's start by creating a new class in BlueJ, and we call it simple if. We will clear the sample code that came with it and begin typing our main method. We are going to create a program that translates grades. For example, if we have 90 and above, we will get an A. And if we have from 80 to 90 score, we get a B. And so on. First of all, we need an int variable to store our score. And the second one will be a char variable to store our grade. And we will also set our score variable to be 82. So we will write our first condition. If the score is actually 90 and higher, that will be our A. And our grade will be set to the letter A, because this is a char variable. So we can set it to a letter A, capital A. And semicolon. Now for the second test, notice that I added the word else before the if. So that means that if the first condition doesn't meet, you will get to check the second condition. So the computer will check the first one and see, okay, it's not above 90. So else, if it's not above 90, I'll get to the second check and check if it's above 80. In case we didn't have the else in front of the if, then the computer would check that condition anyways. So it would check the first condition and then we'll go to the second condition and checks that as well. But with the else, it means that only if the first condition didn't meet, then it will go and check the second one. And we add the rest of the else if conditions. And finally, we'll add the word else, which means that if the prior if conditions didn't meet, then it will go into the else statement and will perform what's in it. So if the prior conditions didn't meet, it means that the students got lower than 60, and that concludes our else statement. We're just gonna set the grade to be an F. Okay, now let's print out the grade on the screen. Okay, we got a B in this case. Okay, so everything seems to be working. Now another thing I want you to notice is the curly braces that are in charge of the actions that will happen after the if statement is met. But actually, I want to mention that if you have only one action to perform after the if statement, you don't have to have a curly braces. You could just put the action beneath the if statement, as long as it's only one row, and it will perform it as well. Like this, for example. In this lesson, we learned about the keywords if, else if, and else. Now imagine if we had 20 more if conditions to write. That would have been quite tedious, and therefore we have something called switch, which we'll learn all about in our next tutorial. Now, this is not very useful thing in most cases in Java. You don't have to write so many if conditions at once, but it's good to know. So we will cover this in the next tutorial. And for now, I would like to thank you for watching. My name is Yakir, and I'll see you in the next one.